A week ago, her legs felt swollen, heavy, and rigid. Simply rising from a chair seemed like lifting blocks of concrete. Her movements were sluggish. Sleep was fitful, and the pain never really subsided. This wasn't an uncommon scenario. It's something that many individuals over 60 silently endure every single day. However, here's the unexpected part. Within just 7 days, her legs felt lighter. The pain diminished. She experienced greater ease of movement, improved sleep, and could even enjoy a morning walk without worrying about tripping. Interestingly, there were no new medications involved, no consultations with doctors, and no costly devices. All she did was consistently apply a simple oil to her legs daily. An oil that many already possess in their kitchens, one with centuries of use, yet overshadowed by modern pills and procedures. The results it achieved in just 1 week, without side effects, without stress, were truly remarkable. This video is designed for those who are fed up with the pain, the swelling, and the persistent heaviness in their legs. Because indeed, relief is possible. You can feel light once more. It begins with something as compact yet potent as this natural oil. Stay with us, because by the conclusion, you'll understand precisely how to apply it, anticipate the outcomes day by day, and learn about 3 natural mixtures to enhance its effects. Also, before we proceed, please drop a comment below mentioning your age and your current location. And remember to subscribe to Dr. Elon Balance to ensure you never miss out on practical, science-supported advice that really matters. Now, let's delve deeper into why legs after 60 begin to feel heavier and what exactly is happening underneath the skin. Margaret didn't wake up one morning with heavy legs. It occurred gradually. Initially, it was merely a mild pain behind her knees following a walk to the mailbox. Then she began to observe that her ankles swelled by evening, even on days when she hardly moved. When she stooped to water her plants, her calves would seize up with cramps. By the time she was 72, simply rising from her recliner demanded more effort than she ever anticipated. Like many women her age, Margaret assumed, perhaps this is simply what aging is like. However, the reality was that her body had been subtly signaling her for years. Her circulation was decreasing. The blood vessels that used to flow smoothly had become rigid and constricted. Blood wasn't circulating downward or upward as efficiently as before. Without consistent blood flow, her legs were deprived of oxygen and essential nutrients. This is why they felt fatigued and frail, as though they simply couldn't keep up. Simultaneously, fluid was accumulating in her lower body. Her kidneys and lymphatic system were not effectively removing water, and gravity was drawing it down to her feet and ankles. This swelling was not only uncomfortable, it also made walking more difficult, balance more precarious, and disturbed her sleep. And let's remember muscle atrophy. Without consistent activity, the muscles in Margaret's thighs and calves were gradually diminishing. She wasn't lazy, simply uninformed. However, diminished muscle strength led to increased stress on her joints and a higher risk of falling. Yet, it wasn't a lost cause. Her body did not require miracles. Margaret required assistance, and she discovered that support in a most surprising manner. Let's discuss this now. It was a peaceful Tuesday afternoon when Margaret discovered the bottle. She hadn't been searching for it. She was simply reorganizing her spice cabinet, a task she hadn't tackled in years. There it stood, a tiny glass bottle nestled between the vinegar and dried oregano. She lifted it, glanced at the label, and a smile spread across her face. Rosemary oil. She recalled purchasing it long ago after learning it was beneficial for sore muscles. Yet, like many other items, it had slipped her mind. That evening, her legs were hurting once more. Rather than grabbing her heating pad, she thought, why not? She applied a few drops of the rosemary oil in her hands, warmed it a bit, and softly massaged it into her calves and thighs. Just the aroma itself transformed the environment. Herbal, refreshing, soothing. Yet it was the subsequent event that genuinely astonished her. Within minutes, she experienced a gentle warmth spreading beneath her skin. It wasn't burning, rather a soothing feeling, as if her legs were coming to life. That evening, for the first time in several weeks, she managed to sleep through the night without any muscle cramps. Rosemary oil may seem straightforward, but it has been valued for generations for good reason. It's more than just a culinary herb. It is rich in potent plant substances, such as rosmarinic acid and antioxidants. These natural components enhance circulation, calm irritated tissues, and relieve muscle tightness. Indeed, ancient Greek and Roman practitioners applied rosemary oil in precisely this manner to address weary legs, rigid joints, and sore feet following extensive walks. What distinguishes it is its rapid effectiveness. It enhances circulation in the extremities, specifically boosting blood flow to essential areas such as the legs, ankles, and feet. Additionally, it possesses anti-inflammatory properties which aid in reducing the swelling that often accumulates from prolonged periods of standing or sitting. Equally significant, it offers a feeling of tranquility through its aroma, warmth, and the ritual involved. For Margaret, it transformed into more than merely a massage. It became a time for herself. Now, if you're curious about how to utilize this oil to achieve the same results she experienced, don't worry, I'm going to guide you through this process step by step. Let's proceed to that part now. Next, we'll discuss how Margaret utilized the oil, not only what she applied, but also how she did it. This aspect is what transforms a basic item into a potent daily practice. The ideal moment to use rosemary oil is immediately following a warm shower. At this time, your skin is clean, your pores are open, and your muscles are somewhat relaxed. However, even if you haven't recently bathed, the key is ensuring that your legs are clean and dry. Margaret would initially grasp the small bottle in her hands for a few seconds, just long enough to slightly warm it. If it seemed chilly, she would set it next to a warm towel briefly. Then she would dispense 5 or 6 drops into her palm, briskly rub her hands together, and inhale deeply. That aroma, that herbal, earthy, stabilizing aroma, was akin to turning on a switch. She communicated to her body, "This moment is yours." Typically, she began at her ankles, progressing in gentle, circular motions upward, taking her time, applying just the right amount of pressure, not too forceful, but with a caring touch. She moved up her calves, around the backs of her knees, then back down her shins before continuing higher up to her thighs. On her thighs, she slowed even more, with long, embracing sweeps as if she were giving her legs a warm hug. It was more than just a massage, it was a connection. Working on one leg took her about 5 to 7 minutes. She inhaled deeply while she worked, aligning her touch with her breathing rhythm. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. This became her form of meditation, a quiet respite of mindfulness in a loud, bustling environment. And this is what she discovered to be most effective. Twice daily. Once in the morning to invigorate the legs for the day ahead, and again in the evening to alleviate the stress and tension accumulated over the day. 7 days. That was all it took to sense the change. Following that initial week, Margaret didn't quit. She simply adapted. Occasionally, once a day, or only in the evening when her legs seemed heavier. Yet, it wasn't burdensome. It integrated into her routine, akin to brushing her teeth or having tea prior to sleep. To enhance the effect further, small additions can be made. Following the massage, she would typically elevate her legs on 2 pillows for just 15 minutes to assist the blood in returning to the heart. Additionally, if her legs were particularly achy, she would place a warm towel over them after the massage. The damp warmth allowed the oil to penetrate more deeply and provided additional comfort. Yet, the crucial element was not any of these. It was the tranquility. No telephone, no television, no ambient sounds, just Margaret, her hands, and her breathing. Because when you decelerate, something shifts, not solely in your physique, but in your spirit as well. And if you're curious about what occurs after continuing this for an entire week, that's precisely what we're going to delve into next. What astonished Margaret the most wasn't simply the sensation in her legs, it was the rapidity with which they began to react. By the conclusion of the first week, she experienced changes she hadn't felt in years. Although every individual is unique, many report a comparable pattern of change. The initial day was not focused on alleviating pain. It was about being there. Simply spending the time to massage her legs, to take deep breaths, to concentrate on herself was already making her feel more at ease. Perhaps not physically, but definitely emotionally. It reinforced to her that her body was still significant, that she herself was still significant. By the second day, there was a noticeable change. Her legs weren't as stiff when she rose from sitting. At night, her customary cramps didn't startle her awake. She experienced deeper, more tranquil sleep. On day 3, she encountered a small surprise. As she walked through her home, she observed a change. She was no longer shuffling her feet. Her walking was more fluid. Her feet no longer dragged. There was still some soreness indeed, but the feeling of heaviness was starting to fade. By the 4th day, her skin appeared healthier. The dryness and flakiness she had overlooked were now substituted with a soft radiance. Her legs appeared rejuvenated, which in turn made her feel more vibrant. On the 5th and 6th days, something else emerged: confidence. She stood a bit straighter, didn't pause before stepping off the curb. She even ascended the stairs without holding on to the railing. On the 7th day, she halted, glanced at her legs, and grinned because for the first time in ages, they didn't feel troublesome. They felt like an integral part of her once more. And while those 7 days can lead to genuine transformation, some individuals discover even greater benefits when they investigate other oils tailored to their unique requirements. Let me introduce you to some of the top choices. While rosemary oil was miraculous for Margaret, it is not the sole natural alternative available. Indeed, based on the specific issues your legs are experiencing, whether it be swelling, nocturnal cramps, or apparent veins, there could be a different oil that's a better match for your needs. Let's begin with a remedy that many individuals over 60 are finding anew: arnica oil. If your legs tend to bruise easily, feel sensitive when touched, or swell following periods of walking or standing, this could be just what your body has been silently craving. Arnica is derived from a vibrant yellow flower traditionally utilized in remedies throughout Europe. When used correctly, it aids in reducing inflammation and soothing overstrained muscle tissue. Margaret's friend Helen, 75, who spends most days on her feet at the market selling vegetables, now highly recommends it. After applying it for only a few days, the discomfort behind her knees vanished. Now, if your primary issue is sleep, particularly if leg pain disturbs your rest at night, consider lavender oil. The aroma itself can soothe the mind, and when rubbed into the legs, it offers additional benefits. It softly eases the muscles and soothes hyperactive nerves. Lavender doesn't only assist in relaxing your legs, it aids in your overall rest. This is why numerous individuals place it close to their bed, prepared for those nights when the body refuses to calm down. Next, consider horse chestnut oil. This is particularly beneficial for those struggling with poor circulation or noticeable veins. It has been widely utilized throughout Europe, especially in Germany, to reinforce the walls of blood vessels and alleviate sensations of heaviness in the lower legs. For individuals whose ankles swell significantly by day's end, or who sense that their legs are overly fatigued, horse chestnut could be the ideal remedy. Importantly, you're not restricted to using just one type. Some individuals mix several drops of each into a base oil, such as almond or olive, and apply it in the same manner. Some people adjust depending on the sensation in their legs on any given day. The crucial aspect is to pay attention. Your body consistently communicates. These oils assist in providing answers. However, it is important to remember that no oil, regardless of its potency, operates in isolation. To genuinely revolutionize how your legs feel, there are several straightforward practices you can begin implementing today, and we'll be discussing them shortly. If you've ever pondered why certain individuals see quicker outcomes than others, here's the insight. The oil plays a role, yet your everyday routines fill in the gaps. Margaret didn't transform her entire lifestyle in one night. She didn't sign up at a fitness center or begin consuming a variety of new supplements. What she did was much simpler. She started to move with intention. Every morning before breakfast, she took a leisurely 10-minute walk around her neighborhood. There was no hurry, just the enjoyment of fresh air, consistent walking, and a bit of rhythm in her stride. This mild activity acted like a pump, promoting blood flow and aiding the body's natural lubrication to function more effectively and for an extended period. She also incorporated 3 straightforward exercises that anyone can perform at home. Positioned by her kitchen counter, she would elevate to her toes and gradually lower back down, enhancing her calf muscles. While seated in her armchair, she would extend one leg at a time to activate her thigh muscles. Whenever she remembered, she gently rotated her ankles in soft circles to maintain circulation. This activity took no more than 5 minutes, yet the effects were significant. Her diet remained largely the same, though she began incorporating more foods known to promote good circulation, such as garlic, turmeric, and berries. She slightly reduced her salt intake, particularly in the evenings, which aided in decreasing the swelling in her ankles. Additionally, rest played a crucial role. Each afternoon, Margaret dedicated 15 minutes to elevate her legs, placing 2 pillows beneath her calves while she reclined and took deep breaths. The brief pause allowed her veins to recuperate and assisted in reducing the swelling. At night, she placed a soft pillow beneath her ankles as she slept. These were simple modifications, yet they collectively made a significant difference. However, as increasing numbers of individuals embark on this path, inquiries naturally arise. Let's pause to address the most frequent questions in an honest and straightforward manner. As more people start to adopt this straightforward routine, certain questions consistently emerge, and these are crucial because understanding our personal needs more deeply leads to improved outcomes. The initial query often is, can I continue using the oil if I have varicose veins? The response is affirmative, but be gentle. Should your veins be noticeable or tender, avoid applying strong pressure while massaging. Apply gentle upward strokes without exerting pressure directly on the veins, and then elevate your legs. This simple action can have significant benefits. Furthermore, consider that I am over 80 years old. Is this still effective for me? Absolutely. Your age does not negate your body's capacity to react. It may require a bit more time, yet your skin, your muscles, your circulation, they still respond. We have received feedback from individuals in their late 80s and even early 90s who experienced feeling stronger, more balanced, and more engaged after just several days of consistent attention. Is this exclusive to women? Absolutely. Men require this equally. Inadequate blood flow, leg cramps, and muscle depletion. These are unbiased in their effects. Indeed, numerous older men who had never experienced a massage previously were surprised at how profoundly it benefited them. This was not only on a physical level, but emotionally as well. Another frequent question is, how long should I continue using it? There isn't a precise guideline. Starting with 7 days is sensible. Beyond that, you might choose to use it daily or several times a week based on the comfort of your legs. For many, this turns into a nightly routine, something they eagerly anticipate. Simply pay attention to your body. It will inform you. And lastly, what if I don't notice improvements immediately? That's perfectly normal. Each person's body reacts in its own unique way. If your legs have been feeling tight for years, it might require more than just a few days to relieve that tension. Stay consistent. Combine the use of the oil with regular movement, adequate hydration, and sufficient rest. Allow it some time. Even minor changes, reduced swelling, improved sleep, or smoother walking indicate that something is effective. Now, before we conclude, there's one final point I'd like to make. Many individuals often overlook something crucial, and it's more important than you might realize. We'll discuss that in a moment. Before we conclude this video, I'd like to highlight a straightforward yet impactful reminder. Your legs have supported you throughout your life, through joyous celebrations and times of sorrow, through each step that has led you to this moment. They have been there for you when perhaps no one else was. And it's possible that over the years, you've taken them for granted or even begun to feel frustrated with them for aching, becoming slower, or altering in appearance. But here is the reality. They still merit attention. You still merit attention. Not because you aim to appear younger, not because you have anything to prove, but because giving attention is a way of showing love. And your body deserves that love at every stage of life. So tonight, spend 5 minutes, sit comfortably, warm some oil in your hands, breathe deeply, and simply listen to your body, to your breath, to the serene sensation of returning to yourself. If this video resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments section, and remember to subscribe to Dr. Elan Balance for more genuine, scientifically grounded methods to feel robust, supported, and vibrantly healthy in your own body. Until we meet again, tread softly and carry love in your steps.